Are you coming or what? I mean, dang, it's time to start Oh, what's good? What's good, Periscope? Come on, man. We ain't got time for all of this. Moving all extra slow. Jesus Christ. It's good to see y'all. Rev Racer coming at you talking about Marriage Scope. Jayla, dang. If you don't hurry up, I don't know what your problem is. You moving slow as molasses on a Sunday evening in December. Jesus Christ. I'm talking to you. You always moving all extra slow. I don't understand what's going on.
You done lost your mind.
Look, I ain't got time for the look. We ain't got time for the gift yet. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Maybe she'll get here by 10. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. I ain't got to. Hurry up! 8. Now, come on, dude. It is time to start Periscope. Oh, jeez. Just a little hard. Bro, you don't understand. We start Periscope at 7:30 every day.
Who you hollering?
I'm hollering at you.
Shut up.
Look, what you ain't go. Y'all, hold on. What you ain't gonna do is sit here and tell me to shut up in front of everybody. We in front of a million people. Well, maybe not a million, but a whole bunch of people, and you gonna tell me to shut up in front of everybody?
Nope.
I got some words that I can't say. We got followers.
We got 3 of them. All 3 of them.
Okay. Let me. I'm gonna calm down. Y'all pray for Rev, because it's at the message for the the message for the day is to watch your tone. Oliver said I was a little harsh, so I'm gonna be nice.
Was he a little harsh?
I was not a little harsh.
You were a little harsh. Okay. This is gonna. I'm gonna end up pulling this out if I move towards you. So you're gonna have
unplug
to move towards me.
Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you that living with a woman, Shay will punch me if I talk like that. Kiana said it should be part of the Hush Ministry.
What's up, Facebook Live?
Hold on, we live right now.
Started Facebook Live a little bit late, so if you have Periscope, watch the replay of Periscope so you can see the beginning of this broadcast, and then now we're gonna join in with Periscope.
Living with a woman can be difficult.
I don't think it's difficult.
Oh, sure, okay. Living with another human being can be difficult.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There are times where you won't want to listen to what they have to say, and they won't want to listen to what you have to say.
That's very true.
So, in situations like that, as Kiana says, you should exercise your hush ministry.
Amen. I believe in that.
Now, Kiana has 8 million ministries because she believes everything is a ministry. In this case, she may be absolutely right.
I think she is.
When you're speaking to your spouse, it is important. See, here we go. It is important to communicate in a manner that is productive to both parties.
Exactly.
The intricate portion of that is both. Because what normally happens is you say your piece. It's okay, fella, I won't talk to you. You say your piece, and you think that's the end of the conversation. And then what happens is what you thought resolved the issue only made the issue go by a little more negative than necessary. And what you thought you resolved, you actually lit a fire under. So what we're going to talk about today, is watching your tone. Now, I talk to the fellas because I can't tell ladies how to watch their tone. But everybody knows that the real people that are explosive are usually the women.
I don't agree with that.
Nope, Gene is not on here. Nope, absolutely not.
I don't agree with that.
No, that's not true. Men have the ability to be well. Okay, I'll put it like this:
You all are louder.
women have the vocabulary and the ability to
Cut deep.
cut deep when unnecessary.
Great.
Men have the ability to speak over you
That's very true.
because
I agree with that.
we're louder.
I agree with that.
But there are some women that don't need to be loud because their voice says volumes.
So, ladies, we have to be careful of how we, the words that we choose to use. Just like I instantly told him, shut up. I don't generally use
What you ain't gonna do is tell me to shut up. I promise you.
I usually don't use the word shut up. That's not one of my go-to words. But it's things like that we can say that we might not say them loud or shouting them, but when we say them, it damages their very being, their very existence. And if our kids, I don't know if you guys could hear Kaylee. Kaylee was in the background and Kaylee said, can you stop having this disagreement? Which it was a fake disagreement, but nevertheless, if you have kids in the house and your kids hear you talking to mom or dad in a not so kind fashion, you set the tone for them. Are you getting that? You set the tone of how they see interaction between mom and dad, as well as how they talk to mom and you set the tone for how they talk to mom and dad.
Kiana said that her husband is in management, and it is usually his downfall to talk to her like she's an employee instead of a wife. And at that point, she can either choose to be rude or she can choose to be peaceful. And when she's on her square, she chooses to be peaceful.
Amen.
But what happens is when we're not on our square, because when Gene's on his square, he doesn't talk to her like she's an employee.
And I think too, as moms especially, we can talk to our husbands sometimes as if they're one of our kids. You know, what did you do that for? Or what's that? Or, you know, did you eat such and such and so? Like, we can be very motherly in how we talk to them. We have to be careful about that as well. Were you about to say something? You look like you're looking.
No, I'm looking something up.
I was going to say, you look like you're looking something up. You got something good to say.
Yeah.
But I think that's another thing. One of the things we learned in our marriage counseling, marriage counseling was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, was that we have to be careful of how we speak to one another. We have to be conscious of the words that we use and the tone that we use with each other. I can't talk to Coley like I talk to Kaylee or Janaya. I can't fuss about, how come you ain't clean this room up? Blah. I can't do that to him.
You know why? Because it doesn't work with the Rev. Jayla learned early in marriage that the more you talk my ear off, the more likely I am to shut you down.
Lord, okay, let me tell y'all. This is king of the shutdown. Like, he seriously, if you text him too many instructions at one time, he will shut down. He will not respond to your text message. And you be sitting there like, well, did you get the message? Yeah, I got it. Well, how come you didn't respond? Because you said too much. So I have learned that I have to talk to him in baby steps, or we have to have a full-blown conversation like that morning saying, hey, these are the things that need to get done today. Do you think you can take care of that? Here's what I can take care of. Can you take care of this, this, and this? And he's a lot nicer about it compared to me sending him a text message midday saying, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because nobody likes the midday text message of honey-do list of 25 things. Hey, can you take the meat out? Can you pick the kids up? Can you change the oil? Can you get on the roof, do jumping jacks and the splits, and possibly sing a high note on Tuesday and Thursday?
I've never done that.
I love you. That cracks me up because at the end of every text message, she says, "I love you." Like that makes everything before it even better. The truth is, you have to learn. No, the truth is, you have to learn how to communicate with your spouse, because if you don't learn how to communicate with them, they'll communicate against you. And since you're married to them, I take for granted that you, and you, and the rest of y'all know how and when to communicate with them. The truth is, if you don't know how, you know what makes them click. And you know how to make them angry. And you know what buttons to push in order to get a rise out of them.
Exactly.
That's part of the marriage ministry, because if I'm going to trust my wife, she's the cute one of the bunch. If I'm going to trust my wife, I have to be able to trust her in all situations. One of those situations happens to be when we're not happy with each other. You gotta move in. I unplugged this so you can move in.
I'm sorry.
Hey, look at that.
You just want me close to you.
I do. I like it. So what happens is, if we're not able to communicate properly between each other, we are able to make each other angry.
Exactly.
And if I can't trust you to communicate, that means you are intentionally trying to stir the pot. And since we're on the same team,
don't stir the pot.
Don't stir the pot. Because who wins if the team explodes? Not the team. Not the team. So if you're truly a team,
okay, go in your room.
If you're truly a team player, then you have to do what's best for the team at all times. And that includes speaking nicely to each other.
Exactly. And there's certain things that you have to speak to your husband about that he might not necessarily want to hear, but you still have to do it. You have to find a way to do it nice and in love. Their health, that's one thing. Men have this thing of not wanting to go to the doctor for nothing, and being stubborn and bullheaded about different things like that. And when I saw some changes in his health, I said, hey, you need to go get this checked out. I'll make your appointment, blase, split. And in that department, I can be a little pushy.
For good reason.
For a good reason. But even in my pushiness, I can't overstep my boundaries. So like, if he's got to have testing done or something like that, I can't call the doctor's office and be like, well, what's the test results? Because he still got to be man enough. I still have to let him have his manhood in that office so that they not, I know how people talk. I work at a doctor's office. And they will talk about his wife and everything.
Yeah, and she don't.
And I don't.
Please.
I don't. I'm good with sitting in the back. Let you run it.
So, we can give you advice on how to speak nicely to your spouse. Your parents can give you advice on how to speak nicely to your spouse. Your boys can give you advice on how to speak nicely to your spouse. Your girls can talk to you about toning it down a little bit so that you get along. But you may not listen to any of those people. And that's cool, because you don't want to tune in to hear what we had to say.
Hey.
So if you don't want to listen to me, there is somebody that you should listen to. And if you want your marriage to be anything, then you should listen to the words that they have to say. And that is always in the Bible. The Bible says...
The Word.
Yeah, the Word.
The Word of the Lord.
Encourage one another. Build one another up. Just as you're doing. Now, Jayla's shirt.
Book, chapter, verse.
Book, chapter, verse. Which means don't be giving me stuff that's in your head and pulling it out and trying to pass it off as the Bible. So, book 1 Thessalonians. Chapter 5. Verse 11. This is Paul talking to the church of Thessalonica. And he's basically telling them to keep doing what they're doing. He's encouraging them. A lot of what Paul did is encourage people to either continue to do the right thing, or to start doing the right thing.
Exactly.
Paul is the bomb. So he speaks to the Thessalonians and says, look, encourage one another. Continue to build each other up. Because when I saw you doing it, it was working for you. In your marriage, build one another up.
Exactly.
Encourage each other.
Exactly.
Because what you'll realize that in your marriage, when you do it, it goes a lot easier. If I know my greatest support system is sitting right next to me, I don't have to go outside to anybody else
to look for encouragement. And here's the fact of the matter. We live in a cruel, cold world where outside forces aren't looking to encourage you. So if he's not getting encouraged and built up here at home, he can't go out and face the world. Like, he can do it, but it's going to be taxing and it's going to take a toll on him. And then when he comes home, he's A, not going to be on his game here at home. B, he's going to be cranky and angry because he's being attacked on every side. And C, I chose to marry this man. I love this man. So why wouldn't I encourage him and push him along to be the best he can be?
Here, let me help you. What happens when you aren't a cheerleader?
Somebody else will be the cheerleader.
Somebody else will be the cheerleader.
And they're watching you, wives. There is always somebody out there watching to see if you're being your husband's cheerleader, waiting to be his cheerleader for him.
Hold on. And I know most women are cheerleaders. And I know you get to speak to the wives on this point. Mm-hmm. But fellas, let me help you out. If you aren't appreciative, here's the cheer ministry.
Cheer ministry. I call it the ministry of presence.
Whatever you want to call it. Fellas, if you aren't on top of your game and you don't encourage your wife, trust me, there's some chump boy out there that is watching your wife come into work every day for weeks straight, for months straight, discouraged about what's going on. And he's going to be the one that comes up to her and says, oh, what's going on?
Let me take you out to lunch.
You hungry? You eat? No, sucker, she don't eat. She only eat at home. But at the end of the day, it's going to be somebody that is the slide ministry. That can't be a ministry, dude. But it's going to be somebody that sees the hurt and the disassociation in her life. What are you looking at?
Janiyah Drew.
She good?
Yeah, I just hope she don't burn her hands.
That sees the separation between you two, that wants to slide in between and all of a sudden become the old Captain Save-A-Pump.
Yeah.
And
it happens.
He or she will do your job if you decide that you don't want to. Kaylee, come help Janiyah.
Don't stick your hands in that water yet. Same be like, see her right there? Go give her a compliment right fast. Exactly.
So, another word says, gracious words are like a honeycomb. Go help Janiyah.
Go help Janiyah. Make sure the water's not too hot.
Gracious words are like a honeycomb. Sweetness to the soul and health to the body.
Make sure it's not too hot, please.
Oh my goodness. I'm about to use some words. See, it says be nice to your spouse. It didn't say nothing about your kids.
You still have to be nice to the kids.
Gracious words are like a honeycomb.
Damn, listen.
Sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Proverbs, which happen to be written by the wisest man on earth. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24. If you know anything about honey, you know that it has some healing characteristics. Mm-hmm. Not only
we saw honeycombs today.
Right. We saw honeycombs today. Mm-hmm. We went to the Eastern Market, got up.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little rough around the edges.
But honey will not only soothe and heal, but it's also sweet tasting. Mm-hmm. And as a spouse, you want to be, now fellas, don't take this the wrong way.
You want to be sweet.
You want to be sweet. You want to be good to the palate.
Exactly.
You want your wife to enjoy speaking your name. So
And women, you want to be sweet and kind. You want him to stick. Your honey is sticky. You want him to stick to you.
look at you. Look, I like a little sticky
stick,
honey.
Little stick.
So it's sweetness to the soul and it's health to the body. Kind words will help your little love.
Yeah.
Kind words will help your relationship,
Yeah.
and it will keep other people out of your relationship.
Jesus.
Because if I send you to work happy, now the little slick dude that want to take you to lunch, if he come by with some old okie doke, now your guard is already up. You don't say, no, sucker, I don't eat. I have a husband. And
my
you type that
husband
up.
is coming to take me to lunch. Thank you so much.
Or he packed my lunch. Right. Or we're fasting. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, you're doing it together. No, I don't eat lunch because Team Gracie don't eat lunch ever. Never ever with nobody else. But
we do eat lunch though.
We do. Kind words bring your husband to the yard. They're like, right. It's better than. Oh, my bad.
But I mean, it's true though. Even they'll see that you're happy. They'll see that you got a pep in your step. They'll outside. I call it the ministry of presence because I am queen of. If you know us, we have 2 services at our church, 8 and 11. I am not an 8 o'clock goer. That's not my thing unless I absolutely have to be there.
Pray for
Pastor Roland.
Pastor, it's good to see you, Doc.
I don't go to 8 o'clock. It's early when you got 2 kids and you're trying to get ready. But there are times when I will get up and I will get everybody in the house ready, and he'll look at me and he'll say, "You going to 8 o'clock today?" Yep. Ministry of presence. And I will go and I will be there for all services because sometimes people just need to see that you're there and you're supporting your husband. And I missed that last comment. I think that was Oliver King.
Oliver said he don't blame me.
Oh, okay.
But go to 8 o'clock service. Pray for her. 8 o'clock service is so important to the lives of the saints. And
I go to 11. You act like I don't go to nothing.
You're right. For those of you that have 8 o'clock services at your church, you are blessed.
Girl, they love a lonely looking minister. That's a whole. I might have to do that one on my scope.
Oh,
because when you go to those conventions, my husband's not allowed to go to any conventions by himself anymore. Not that I don't trust him, but I don't trust them other sneaky little people. I just don't. I am being truthful.
No, I can't go hear the word. Because the devil's everywhere.
The devil is everywhere.
Can I go to work by myself?
You can go to work by yourself.
Can I go to the gas station by myself?
You can, but the devil encamps at the Congress.
Oh, Jesus. But if you trust him, does it matter? Hey!
I do trust him.
Pastor, please, pray. I don't feel your prayers, man. Lord Jesus.
And I should say he can't. I shouldn't say that.
She just negated my...
Because he has gone to conferences without me.
I do go to conferences without you. That's mightily.
But
some things only happen by prayer and fasting.
I prefer to be there with him. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. We was at Congress one time, and this chick walked up, slipped up behind him, grabbed his hand. He thought it was me. He looked, he was like, "Oh, you not my wife." And he snatched away. And I'm standing there watching it. I'm trying to be holy and not go say some nice words to this lady. But
I prefer her to go with me. Because
it's a preference.
Not just because of the people that are there, but I prefer her to go with me because I appreciate her presence. And even when we're separated for learning purposes, when I go to the minister's division, she goes to the minister's wife division.
I miss my husband.
I enjoy getting back together for lunch. Like, let me tell you what I learned.
Right.
Let me tell you what I gleaned today.
Exactly.
You got to rebuke Abyssal. But I enjoy her presence. So that's always a plus too. Okay, I'm going to give you one more word. And this is a word that David spoke. And he said, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be found acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. This was David's prayer to God. And the reason I bring that one up, and I won't forget, book, chapter, verse, Psalm 19, verse 14. The 19th Psalm, verse 14. And it's David speaking to God, and he's literally saying, let the words of my mouth, the things that come out of my mouth, and even the things that I think in my heart, be acceptable to you. And although he was saying that to God, sometimes we have to have that same prayer for our spouses. I pray that the words that come out of my mouth, every time I say, can you understand the words that come out of my mouth? I think of Rush Hour 2. Okay, I'm sorry. Let the words of my mouth, and as a man thinketh, so he doeth. So the meditations of my heart, the things that I think about in my heart, even the things that I don't say, but the things that I think, I pray that both of those are found pleasing in my spouse's eyes. And I pray that both of them are pleasing to her ears.
And I think if you look at it from the perspective of taking it as the actual scripture says, if they're acceptable and they're pleasing to God, then they're going to be acceptable and pleasing to your spouse. If your spouse is driven by God.
Oh, that's another scope.
That's a whole nother scope. But if your spouse is driven by God, then if they're acceptable and pleasing to God, then there's no way that they're not going to be pleasing to me. What he says, or vice versa, what I say, if it's acceptable and pleasing to God, then it's not going to be unacceptable to him.
So, stay in line with God. Stay in line with your spouse. And I know I said that was the last one, but I'm just going to give y'all... Yeah. This is
bonus material.
This is like I'm on my way to my seat. Put me in C flat.
Okay.
But finally, which one did I want to use? Oh, Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. And I want everybody, when this scope ends, I want you to pick up your own Bible. The one that you leave in the car all week long. And I want you to pick up your own Bible. I don't care if it's the one that you leave in the car. I don't care if it's the big one in the middle of the living room. Your digital Bible. That you don't never use, the one with all the dust on it. I don't care if it's your digital Bible. But turn to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. And it will forever be a reminder of how you should communicate with your spouse. Because the Bible says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. In other words, if I reply to you with some common sense and a good tone, it is going to eliminate most of the cause of the argument.
Exactly.
But if I respond with a harsh tone and some words that probably should never be used, not only in the house of God, but in your house or in your basement, it's going to stir. It's like putting a stick in a wasp nest. Exactly. Somebody's going to get stung.
Exactly.
So listen to the words of God when it comes to talking with your spouse.
Exactly.
And trust me, please, if you ain't never listened to nothing I said before, watch your tone.
Exactly. The tongues of the wise adorn knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly.
Oh my! That wasn't even in my notes. You can't blame that one on me. The preacher sat down. He was on the way to the seat.
Book chapter verse.
Yeah. Give me the verse. Book chapter verse, Doc. We gotta have it because people wanna write stuff like this down. Oh, it's the NIV version. Okay. Thank you. People want to write stuff like this down because on Saturday everything was cool.
Right.
On Sunday everything was jolly. But on Wednesday, this Negro came in the house late and I didn't know how to handle it. But if I have these verses posted around me, I can look at it and say, Coley, don't lose your mind. We're going to talk this one out. We're going to get through it together, and God will work it out.
Exactly.
But if what is in you comes out of you.
Exactly.
And if you never have the word in you, if thy word has not been hidden in thy heart, and you forever sinning against thee, when a toothpaste tube is squeezed, even if it's squeezed from the middle, like you shouldn't do, you should always roll it up from the bottom. But if you squeeze it from the middle, whatever's in the tube
it's gonna come out.
has to come out.
Exactly.
And when you buy toothpaste, you don't expect for gold to come out.
Nope. You expect toothpaste.
So if you're a Christian and somebody squeezes you, they don't expect harsh words to come out because you've been labeled, you've been called, and you've been set apart as a Christian.
Exactly.
So if your wife even if it's your spouse, if it's your spouse that's doing the squeezing, they're squeezing you, but they don't expect you, of all people, to come back with harsh words.
Exactly.
Because you've been labeled and marked as a Christian.
Exactly.
And if you've been labeled, if you've got Christian tattooed on your spirit, and you decide that on this day, I'm going to let forth all holy hell and tell them exactly what I used to be, where I came from, and what I can still do, then you're going against your brand image.
Exactly.
Crest will never sell anything
Other than toothpaste. Well, in the toothpaste.
In a toothpaste can.
Right. Container.
If you bought a toothpaste bottle and you squeezed it and peanut butter came out,
you're going to have a lawsuit.
You got a lawsuit and an attitude. Because I didn't come to eat. I came to clean. Sometimes your spouse comes to you, and even though they're squeezing you, they need words of encouragement for their situation.
Exactly.
And if you spew peanut butter in that situation, it's not going to help.
Nope.
So be who you say you're going to be. But it can always be peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Oh,
Great
sorry.
point.
Yeah.
Great point.
That wasn't my fault.
Great point. Great point.
So we love you.
We do.
We're praying peace in your marriage.
Yes.
We're praying love in your marriage.
Words.
Kind words. Watch your tone.
Watch your tone.
Should nobody call me and be like, man, my spouse just went off on me. And I don't even know where she learned these words from. So, thank you, Pastor. Pastor, I'm going to be in you. Well, I'm not going to be.
No, we're not going to be that close. Quick announcements. Pray for Reverend. He will be in revival the end of this month in Cocoa Beach, Florida. So if you are in the Cocoa Beach, Florida area, we would love to see you. The information is posted on his Facebook page. I believe it is Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Cocoa Beach. I don't know the address.
That's it. I don't know the address either. Not
on if you're in the area, we would love to see you guys. So, that being said, also, the month of August, we are going to take a little break.
Hiatus.
A little tiny break. We'll be back in September, but the month of August, we are going to take a little break. So, we won't be on regularly. It's gonna be hot in Florida.
I'm waiting on it, man. I'm gonna give me some color.
Yeah, we are gonna get a little color. The car is working okay. Yes, thank you, Oliver. For all your car needs and your web design needs and what else? Go see Oliver, CL Designs.
CI Design.
Sorry. So yeah, month of August we're gonna take a little break, but you can always tune into our YouTube channel and check out past Marriage Matters broadcasts if you just wanna, see what's what. You want to still feel your Saturday 7:30, but spend that time with your spouse. Love on your spouse during that time frame. That's what we plan on doing.
Yeah, because we'll be honest with you, August is our month.
It is.
We're turning up. It's 10 years.
10 years
of
in the marriage game
between both of us, and we just feel like everything shouldn't be on Periscope, and some things y'all just don't need to see. So we're gonna get it all in for that month. All the stuff that don't need to be videotaped. So yeah, go play with Simba. Go catch up on the YouTube videos.
100% growth.
But we are going to celebrate 10 years, and that's even a message to some of you that are dealing in your relationships now. Take the time out of your regular schedule, even out of your ministry, out of your job, out of your leisure, to spend time with your spouse.
One-on-one time, quality time.
You don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to spend no money.
No.
I am the cheapest date that you'll find.
Groupon has been our best friend lately. Let me tell you.
Man, Groupon and we don't even Netflix and chill. We got our own little hookup going on, and
Fire Stick.
We got Fire Stick. Man, praise God for technology.
Yes.
So spend some time with your spouse.
Exactly.
Watch your tone. Quit saying everything that comes up. Everything that comes up shouldn't come out.
Go pray. Stop.
Go pray.
And pray. We'll see. When you catch on fire, stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and pray.
Stop, drop to your knees and pray.
Pray.
If in the middle of an argument, I promise you, this will work. If in the middle of an argument, you drop to your knees and you pray, I guarantee you one of y'all is going to quit arguing. And it's hard to argue with one person.
Right. It's hard to argue with somebody praying.
Whenever somebody gets in a prayer position, you just automatically be like,
You just stop and you pray.
And you just automatically I'm sorry. All heads, eyes, all heads, eyes, all heads bowed, all eyes closed. But seriously, pray. It works.
It does.
It works. It works. It works. We love y'all.
We'll see y'all next week. We got a couple more weeks in July.
A couple more weeks in July to get it in.
August, we off.
August, we're off. September, we coming back with a boom.
Yeah. We might pop in occasionally.
Yeah,
in
just
August.
some quick, hey, what's up?
Right.
Praying for you. But other than that, hustle and prayer made it through. Book, chapter, and verse is the only way to make it. Love y'all. We'll holler at y'all next week.
Bye. I gotta go do hair.
Maybe I can